when you're triggered in your spiritual warfare, right? Or you're going through a time where it's like life is happening. Feelings and emotions are happening. What do I do? How can I go about it? Do I tell somebody I'm not okay, but also what do I do for my self-healing?
Well, the first thing I do is breathe. And anybody in my camp, on my team, and my posse, they gonna tell me, wait a minute, hold up, stop, breathe. Because that's our connection to Creator. That's our connection to Source. The difference between life and death is a breath. Yeah, and every time we breathe, we activate our origin source codes. And that's where our divinity is. That's where our power is. So I'm gonna breathe. The second thing I'm gonna do is I really want to, I want to look at what's going on. I want to look at what I'm telling myself. Most of us are in suffering and breakdown, not because of what's going on, but because of what we tell ourselves about what's going on. We get the story. I understand law and principle. I understand spiritual law. I understand spiritual principle. I understand anything that shows up is there because I bid it to be there. I caused it to be there. I created it to be there, either consciously or unconsciously, emotionally or spiritually. And it's come to teach me. It's come to give me an opportunity to learn. So instead of me freaking out about the fact that my daughter's dead, what is it that I'm learning? What is it that I'm healing? What is it that I'm offering? What is it that I'm giving? Because I could be very depressed and dragging because I lost my second baby, or I could remind myself like I do all the time.
But there's a fine line though, because settling and dwelling is two different
things, right?
How do we settle and give it the power it deserves? Because we don't want to be emotionless in a time where your body is yearning for some type of release, right? And dare I not acknowledge, like, but you don't want to dwell there either. You know what I'm saying? What's that fine line?
Well, you gotta, this is why part of my job, Awakening 1 Million. People have to understand the law. We have to understand how life works. I'm not talking about man's law, I'm talking about God's law. That's why I went to law school. I didn't tell you that part. I went to law school to train my mind not to live man's law, but to live God's law. But that's a whole nother story. Anyway, we gotta know the laws of the universe so that as things unfold, doesn't mean we don't feel it, doesn't mean it doesn't hurt us, doesn't mean we're not angry or disappointed or sad or whatever, but like you said, we don't dwell there because we know the law. We know the law, and we trust the Creator, and we trust the wisdom of the Creator. We trust the right to choose. I can look at the fact that my daughter, 46 years old, was a non-compliant diabetic. She wouldn't stop eating the sugar. She wouldn't do what she needed to do. I can't blame God for that. I can't be in wonderment. She was a human being with a physical body. She made choices that cost her her life. Do you know how sad that makes me? But what can I do? Her choice. Her choice. So I settle in that as opposed to dwelling in she could have, she should have, why didn't she? I can't dwell in that.